things that will help to scale your agency. So I printed this off. If you go to Molo9, my account, to that dashboard, and you scroll down to insights and recommendations, you will see this, insights and recommendations. This is what it looks like filled in with data. So it's blue, green, purple. As always, you guys can send feedback and we can change appearances and whatnot. We're going to dive into this and why it can help with increasing the lifetime value of your clients. So the thing I love about marketing and Molo9, they're structured like team sports. So you're successful when your clients are successful, which is amazing because you get to celebrate these successes with people regularly. I don't know if there's anything better to be doing with your time. Lawyers have like blood, sweat, and tears for months on end or years on end before they get to celebrate one quick win with a client. Marketers, we get to celebrate quick wins with our clients daily, weekly, monthly. I think it's that's why I think it's the greatest spot to be in. So I want to show you how you can, some of you may already be doing this, but how the rest of you can restructure the way you work on client projects so you're celebrating lots of wins often. When you're celebrating lots of wins often with your clients, they want to stay with you simply because no one else is doing that. And it's crazy because marketing is built that way that it should just be baked in to the offer, to the packages, the projects. But so few people hold on to the joy of marketing and go back to this foundation of where it's exciting to have wins. The reason I think that is because there's a lot of marketing material out there telling us that we need to be on certain platforms that aren't the best for our clients or for us. They're not giving us the best results. So let's get back to basics. Say, I am channel agnostic. Say it with me, hand over your chest, hand over your heart. I am channel agnostic. Okay, now you're gonna test the best channels to get the best results. And when that's your commitment, that's your North Star. I wear two compasses. I don't know if you ever noticed that. The two compasses remind me, okay, I'm focused on one key metric and I'm on improving that one key metric. Let's dive in. Okay, so the first one is gross revenue. This is more applicable as a key first North Star metric and I have a document I'm going to give you later that you can give to clients, and it gets them excited about working on these three when you first start working with them. But if you're in the Molo9 community, it's going in the Molo9 community. This is not a public document. The gross revenue, if you're working with small businesses, cash is their lifeblood. They need it in order for their operating costs and whatnot. So if you focus on improving that first, you'll notice that by default, you're just channel agnostic because you're only looking at things that are driving sales. Instead of saying, oh, our clients want to see that we have a huge following on Instagram. Let's put a lot of time and energy into building up that huge following. That's not buying anything. You'll say, wow, okay, the people who are buying the most from us are on YouTube. That's where we're going to focus our energy and our efforts, is on YouTube. Or the people who are buying the most from us are on Reddit. I bought a new system for making an ice bath using aquarium equipment. It's amazing. And the way I found out about this system is via Reddit. A guy went around, just every time somebody asked about building an ice bath, he shared this one blog post where in depth he went through the step-by-step process to build an ice bath at home, because they're like $3,000 to $7,000, very high maintenance machines. Or you can follow his process and build your own for $600. Because it uses aquarium equipment, it's very low maintenance. It's expecting to have these hiccups that the people who had designed the earliest ice bath machines coming out right now didn't account for. People have been working with aquariums for decades, already know about all these variables. So it's interesting from like a chemistry angle, but side note. Anyways, so now the first thing is gross revenue. You want to say, look, this is where your gross revenue is. This is where we want to get it. This is what we're going to do to get there. These are the 5 to 10 KPIs. I actually wouldn't go above 7. 5 to 7 KPIs that we will be tracking daily, weekly, monthly, however you want to have your reporting cycle go, in order to make sure that we are doing marketing things that get you to that client, that get your gross revenue increased. Next time, I think I'll share with you guys the MD9 matrix. It's a very quick process that I use in order to figure out which channels are going to be best for any client at the start of the project. It is advanced marketing. This is like intermediate marketing, That's hyper advanced marketing. It expects that you have a minimum of 5 years of marketing experience. People with 10 years of marketing experience will understand it easily. But yeah, so gross revenue. Next, you have revenue source snapshot. So this basically breaks down what percentage of your revenue is coming from retained customers and what percentage is coming from new customers. You ideally want the majority of your sales, a healthy company has a majority of their sales coming from retained customers. Why do you think that is? Feel free to drop your answer into the chat. No? You guys don't want to guess? All right, I'll tell you. When you run ads and you're having to get new customers, they're expensive. Some companies pay between hundreds and thousands of dollars for a new customer, right? That is the sound of me pouring water into my cup. So when you're working with new customers and having to acquire new customers, they take time to build a relationship with, to get trust and to get them to purchase something. They're rarely free. You're paying more for a new customer to get them to buy something from you the first time. So new customers tend to cost you more, which increases your marketing costs. Retained customers, someone who's doing your subscription boxes month over month, someone who is ordering, going to your grocery store month over month, week over week, day over day, those people are much cheaper. They already work with you. They already trust you. It doesn't take a lot of marketing to get them to come back to you. I do a subscription box for jewelry. That's what my husband got me for Valentine's Day last year. He's like, you know what? I give up. I'm not going to try to guess what you want for jewelry. Here's the subscription box. You pick out your 3 pieces of jewelry every month. When I don't pick out my next set for the next month, they send me different promotional material. And I'll do it sometimes just to see what the promotional material is going to be. As a marketer, I mean, my gosh, yeah, you love these things. So I won't update what I want in my next subscription box, and they'll send me different promotions. And it helps me to see exactly what they think I'm worth versus what they think a new customer is worth. Retention strategies are my favorite. It's like, how do you get this group of people to have more fun with your company? That's how you should think of it. Not, oh my God, I have to retain these people. This is going to be such a nightmare. That actually blocks your brain that type of thought process blocks your brain from being able to think creatively. And as marketers, we need the creative part of our brain working at full function. So you want to try to phrase it in a fun way. How can I have more fun with these customers? How can I make their experience more joyful? So I will send out, somebody remind me in Telegram, I will send you guys, I have 5 different ways that restaurants and venues can increase their customer retention rates by offering different things that do not cost a lot to implement, but they add a lot to the bottom line. I just wrote that up and I'll send it to you guys, just to the Molo9 community. Just remind me too, because I didn't put it on my checklist for after this. All right, next is the sales funnel health check. You could see that? Good. All right, so the sales funnel health check, with that, you're going to explain to your clients, listen, we want to have a steady mix of leads. What is this one? We want to have a steady mix of leads, returning customers, and new customers coming in. We want to have a steady mix of all 3, because when you have leads coming in, a percentage will convert. When you have new customers coming in, so they just bought their first thing, a percentage will buy again. So you want to have a steady mix of all 3. First, you focused on gross revenue. Maybe your KPIs for this project were increasing customer retention or increasing the flow into the sales pipeline. It might have been one of these 2 for a KPI, but this is your North Star metric. Your next project, this could be the North Star metric. Look, we grew gross revenue, but I think we could do better with this. You can open up the Molo9 dashboard. I specifically built this way. When one of you came for coffee crying about how hard this is, I specifically built this way so that you open up the dashboard, you say, listen, thousands of marketers are using this software throughout 59 countries across 27 industries. This is the industry standard. This is what I want to do for your company. I'm not trying to upsell you. I'm just trying to get you great results, because if you get great results, I have great results to say I helped you get. And when I get to brag about your great results, I get to work with more great companies. It's a win-win. So you have the gross revenue. You have increased retention rates. It's your second priority. Third priority, increase sales pipeline flow. You want to increase once you've increased retention rates, if you have 0 customers, you're probably going to have to start with this. You're going to have to start with the sales pipeline flow. If they don't have any funnels built up, you're going to do things that don't scale and then worry about building out their funnels. Usually it's strategic partnerships. So if you're trying to get gross revenue fast and you don't have funnels built out and you have a limited amount of time, you look for a strategic partner that'll take anywhere between actually 10 and 50% to get you a massive surge of people coming in and using the product or service. Okay, next. So next you have, oh, here it is. Customers retained, customers acquired, and leads captured. So with the customers retained, you want to show them, okay, this is our first priority. Resource revenue snapshot, we got it nice and healthy. We worked on the sales flow pipeline. This next row is a zoom in of the other 2. So if you go to your Molo9 account, you'll see that these 2 rows are broken down here. All right, so you have customers retained. Again, first priority for this row. Then it's customers acquired, and then it's leads captured. So with the customers retained, again, retaining customers is the cheapest, easiest way to make money. Offering something new to people who already trust you and have already made a purchase with you. Okay, customers acquired. When a lead buys something for the first time, that's the next priority to look at. You want to say, okay, how many leads bought something from your company? Is there something wrong with our funnel? Should we be offering another pre-sell? Should we be offering something that's lower price as an introductory offer before we offer what our initial offer is? Would that help more people to convert? That's where, when you're looking at customers acquired or leads that convert to customers, you're looking at your sales funnel, at your marketing funnel, your marketing automation funnel, whatever process you have. You're looking at why. You do a deep dive into why more people aren't converting. You optimize things, you run tests. Then you have leads captured. I've had a lot of people call me and say, I need leads. I'm like, well, what's your customer retention rate? I don't know. Okay. Leads you get, how many convert? Oh, none. Okay, so before we spend all of your marketing budget on getting more leads, let's kind of look at what we could put in place here and test here, and then get some leads and see how many of those leads convert. Let's work on optimizing your onboarding process, the dating period you have with your customers before we go for leads. Because if we just go for leads, we're hemorrhaging money. We need to figure out how to get some of them to convert and how to get some of those that converted retained. Then we pour into leads. Okay, if you want to Google this later, this would be BOFU, or bottom of funnel. MOFU, middle of funnel. You're taking the customers, leads converting the customers. And TOFU is top of funnel. Okay, the next thing you look at with them is the web traffic to lead pages. So they might say, get me more leads. I'm not happy with the number of leads. What's going on with the leads? You want to look at the website traffic to lead pages. After that, you look at landing pages with the most leads captured, landing pages, that are in need of revision. So they have a high bounce rate. With this, the reason I put all 3 of these together is so that when you show customers this or clients this, they can see how the 3 relate. So when you say to them, look, we have this much web traffic coming in. We have this many landing pages, and this is how many leads they're capturing. So you can see the web traffic correlating to specific landing pages working better. And then when you tell them, hey, I want to build you more landing pages, or I want to do a project where we optimize your landing pages. I'd like to do a project where we revise some of your landing pages. You can show them, look, these lead pages or these landing pages, they're capturing this many leads every time they get traffic. This percentage of traffic is converting. They're putting their email in. This page or these pages that I want to revise or take offline, they're only capturing this many. So in the example, I have one of them capturing 300,000 and the low performing pages capturing 34. Your numbers might not be that extreme, but there will be a big enough gap that your clients will very easily see, oh, she or he is not upselling us. They just want us to do better. They're looking at the numbers and this makes sense. That's the entire goal of the new dashboard, is for you to look at the numbers and for you to show the numbers to your clients and they can say, this makes sense. Okay, so your clients, you've gotten them to grow gross revenue, you've increased the flow, and they're going to ask, okay, what can you do next? What can you do next? These are the projects that, this is where you kind of move from, oh, I've shown you how we use the numbers to decide what we're doing, and it's brought us on a really great path thus far. Now let me show you what we can do next to save you, to make you even more money. You have the website traffic snapshot, social media snapshot, monthly ad spend. What you want them to see here is that your website increases in correlation to the social media, your involvement on social media. You've decreased their ad spend. That's huge. Because when you're able to show them, look, we want to do this project, it's going to cost this much money, but this is how much we're saving you on ad spend, or this is how much we've saved you so far on your monthly ad spend, they're like, yes, of course I want you to do that project. And once you get them to the point where you're working with them on regular social media posts, organic social media initiatives and campaigns and projects, that's where you enter your long-term relationship. All right, so if they did not love you already. Okay. And then the last thing is SEO. So you have social media and you have organic, you have content that you're making for their own site. You have the entrance pages with the highest session time, and you have the pages with the highest bounce rate. You'll use this when you're talking to them about SEO to show them, look, these pages are doing great. These pages are bringing people in from all sorts of places. People love what's on these pages. These pages are horrible. That's why we want to revise them. With each of these dashboards and each of these KPIs, when you show something to your client, you say, I would like to work on this project next because, then you show them the numbers, they realize that what you're doing is you're trying to help them get the best results. You're not just trying to upsell them. You're trying to guide them on the path towards success. Okay, so now that you know everything, do you guys have any questions about that? Okay, let's focus on the KPI questions. There's a lot of these. Okay, this question's not in English. What are the most important, what do you know about marketing KPIs? Everything I just told you. Now, I think the most important thing with marketing KPIs is making sure that you're focusing on the right KPIs in the right order at the right time. So as some of you know, I'm working on a book, and one of the contributors shared a story in the book of how his company was epically failing because the executive that was in charge of the marketing department wanted every single number tracked on this dashboard. Every number that could be tracked was on this dashboard. Well, none of the people knew exactly what they should be looking at. And he said, all of these KPIs are important, but none of them were the direct, like led them in a direction that helped them to understand what they should be focusing on. He was let go. After he was let go, a new person came in, and the new person chose 7 KPIs. And looking at those 7 KPIs, they were able to then determine, the team was able to then understand what they were working for, why they were working in that direction, and they were able to work more cohesively to actually have a successful fiscal quarter with meeting all those KPIs. What are the most important marketing KPIs and goals for a web startup? First of all, is gross revenue. What is it? I just read this the other day. Only 4% of startups make more than $1 million, cross the $1 million threshold. 96% don't. And what is it? Like something like 90% of startups die within the first 3 to 5 years. So money's the lifeblood. So the first thing a startup needs to look at is gross revenue, doing whatever you can in order to make money so that your company can continue to exist. After that, it's saying, okay, we have customers. How do we keep them happy and buying more from us? What else can we create for them? Then you have a sales pipeline. What else? A big mistake that a lot of startups make is they continue to make resources for their customers, but they don't charge for those new features or resources that they've made. And the company dies because they were busy making free resources and they didn't have enough money to pay their own bills. So second thing is looking at ways that you can make more money by offering more to your existing customers. The third key metric to look at is your sales funnel pipeline, the flow there. So how many leads versus retained versus acquired customers? What does it look like month over month? Do you have a steady stream of new incoming leads? Okay. What are the most important marketing KPIs for an online newspaper? Again, it's going to be gross revenue. So for an online marketing newspaper, you're going to look at what is our ad revenue? How are you making money? Are you making money with subscriptions or are you making money with ads? If you look at magazines, most magazine companies, they're selling you the magazine for $1, which tells you that you're not their main. They make money off of you being a subscriber. They don't make money from you buying the magazine. So that tells you that advertising is their main. Everybody knows advertising is their main source of revenue. But if you're looking at new businesses in general and you see that there's a really low subscription rate and there's ads running constantly, that gives you a quick indication that ad revenue is how they're making their profit. How do I measure marketing KPIs? Okay, well, you can do it in the Molo9 dashboard. You can do it in Gecko board. You could do it in Google Analytics. Depending on which KPIs you're measuring and why you're measuring them, you'll measure them in different places. So the Molo9 dashboard is not a comprehensive marketing KPI dashboard because it's literally designed to help you show your clients, this is what we're working towards, this is why. And then you can click at the bottom of every chart is a call to action that says increase revenue now. Guess what it's going to do? It's going to take you to the Molo9 Strategizer, which shows you the recommendations. You can print those out for your client. Then they're not going to be able to implement that without you. They're going to need your help to implement that. But you have different dashboards depending on what your goal is. If you're working on an SEO project, I would highly recommend SpyFu. That's my favorite. Unfortunately, it does not work outside of the US and the UK. I think it's only in 2 countries now. There's also SEMrush. I don't like it nearly as much as SpyFu. Then yeah, it depends on what sort of project you're working on. There's different analytics tools that measure churn. They measure Hotjar is another one of my favorite for seeing funnel conversions and scroll depth and getting feedback. What are some digital marketing KPIs? I already gave you the list of the 14 that I recommend looking at. Again, I'll just list them off for you again. Okay, so the 14 digital marketing KPIs that you should look at are gross revenue, revenue source snapshot. So how many users or how much of your money is coming in from sales to new customers versus sales to existing customers. Sales funnel health check. How many leads are you getting per month versus new customers coming in per month versus retained customers coming in and buying things per month. Then you break that down. Customers retained. How much money are existing customers spending with you month over month? How many new customers are coming in and making their first purchase? How many leads are requesting a lead magnet? And you have web traffic to lead pages, landing pages with the most leads captured, landing pages in need of revision, web traffic snapshot, comparing organic versus social versus total web traffic. You have social media snapshot. It's next to web traffic snapshot, so you can see how the number of followers, number of new posts, likes and comments all correlate to the web traffic coming from social media. And then you have monthly ad spend, entrance pages that people come to directly with the highest session time. So what are people coming back to constantly that they value the most? And pages with the highest bounce rate. Which pages are problematic for people? They don't value them. They're not getting a lot of benefit from those. Which marketing KPI do large game companies use to analyze their game? Oh, the biggest one for them is session time and daily active users. So how often are people checking in? How much time are they spending on the game per day? And then it's how much money are they spending with you week over week or month over month? What are the most overrated marketing KPIs? Tracking vanity metrics, like tracking the number of likes you get on a post. Okay, it's good that you got likes on the post, but how did the number of likes on that post translate to incoming revenue from that channel, incoming traffic from that channel, and how much of that traffic that came in from that channel converted? So you can make landing pages for each social media platform. And you can see how many leads came to that landing page and then converted. And then okay. You also have the UTM that you can add, and it'll give you all that data as well. I'm sorry, I have someone build those for me, so I'm not too familiar with how they're done. I can get you the Excel for that. Just remind me, I'll add it into Molo 9. I have to figure out where to put it in Molo 9, but I can add that in. There's an Excel that you use to make the UTMs, and then you can extract all the data from that. What do you use as a dashboard for all of your marketing KPIs and metrics? I do not use any one single dashboard for everything, because it depends on what we're working on and what we're looking at. Like, for example, the email marketing KPIs, I look at those in the email marketing software that I use. I didn't even include those in the Molo 9 dashboard, because with those, I mean, you have MailChimp, you have ConvertKit, what else? There's so many great ones out there, and they do such a great job at storytelling with their data that I didn't feel like we needed to add something on Molo 9. If you guys disagree, let me know. You can press the red feedback button anywhere on the site. Let me know what you think should be added to the Molo 9 dashboard, and we can put that on there. It takes a few hours per table to code it, so do not just randomly ask for me to add like 50 tables. How can I choose digital marketing KPIs? Honestly, I looked at trying to build a table for this and coding it. It's easier just to say, go to Bard or go to ChatGPT and say, this is my North Star metric. What KPI should I track? And you can take whatever the North Star metric is from the Molo 9 dashboard and drop it into Bard, ChatGPT, and it will tell you which KPIs you should look at. I personally, when testing the answers from both, I found that bard.google.com gave me better answers than ChatGPT. How do I set realistic short and long-term content marketing KPIs and targets based on the site's historical performance? Okay, so you're talking about SMART goals. With SMART goals, what you want to make sure of is that you're going to be setting goals that excite your client, and that will depend on who your client is. So some companies that I've worked with, they really love it when you set these huge goals that are like high in the sky and you land somewhere around here, like near that goal. Other people, they prefer that you set a goal here and you land like 50% past that, 50 steps past that. So it really depends on culture of the company you're working with, the culture of the client that you're working with. With clients who are not marketers, I tend to tell them the goal is here, and then I tell myself that the goal is here. And that way I surpass their goal easily. When I'm working with larger corporations where I know that they're used to setting moonshot goals and we aim for the moon and land among the stars, then we can obviously declare a moonshot goal. Okay, now along those lines with content, so now that you know how to decide what the numerical value of your goal should be, with some people you'll say, look, we're aiming to increase the ROI or the KPIs by 10%. With others, you say we're looking to increase these KPIs by 10x or multiply them by 10x. So you look at what the site has been doing previously, and then you say, these are your current metrics, and this is what we're aiming to get. This is how we plan to get there. By what percentage should you increase your content marketing KPIs by in each quarter? Again, this will depend on the type of company you're working at. Larger corporations, you're going to expect the growth rate to be between like 4 and 10%. In the startup space, you're doubling, quadrupling like week over week, or the startup's dead by next year. How do you pick effective digital marketing KPIs and how do you track them? So I have the core 14 that I look at, and then with each project, we have other KPIs that I look at. The ones on the Molo 9 dashboard are not the only KPIs I look at. Those are the KPIs that I show clients who are non-marketers at a high level, so they understand why I'm recommending a project when I'm recommending that project. For example, with the SEO project, I show them, I track the cost of acquisition, the LTV, the lifetime value of clients, and the conversion rates. Because those things I can easily tie back to money, and we're tracking gross revenue. So they're seeing, and we're tracking ad spend. So they're seeing how, as they invest in SEO, the gross revenue increases while their monthly digital ad spend is decreasing. Which digital marketing KPIs are the most difficult to measure. Why someone drops off when they make a purchase? Because we can make assumptions, we can make guesses, but when somebody drops off in the funnel, you don't always know what the problem was. Is there a tropical storm where they are? Or did their flight just take off and they lost access to the internet? Did they actually see something that they didn't like? Did they get distracted by a family member? Was our payment process too complicated? I'd say that's the most difficult one. How can I select and measure influencer marketing KPIs? With influencers, what I would say is, okay, how much inbound traffic are they sending to your site? How much of that traffic is converting to leads? How many of those leads then convert into buyers? And of those buyers, how many are retained? I will send this to you guys. This video will be timestamped. I'll send you the 5 ways that a restaurant can grow its revenue, the North Star metric booklet that you can give to your clients. These are the 3 North Star metrics that any marketing agency you work with should track and improve when you first start working with them. It's a good lead magnet because it uses something called a phenomenon called social selling. If you use it, please quote me in it. Please do not just rip the content. I don't want to have someone suing me later because they didn't realize that their marketing people took it from me and they're trying to claim it's their intellectual property when it's actually mine. Yeah, make sure that you quote me when you're using my documents for anything. Next time, we're doing live Q&As every other week now because we found that these are more beneficial for you guys when you get documents like this to walk away with. It's better for us because we have time to create high quality content rather than just hopping online every week and answering just random questions. The next one will be on the MD9 matrix. I will teach you how to quickly look at the Excel that I use. I'll see if I can't embed it into Molo9. The Excel that I use so that you can quickly figure out exactly which channels will be most beneficial for any company you're working with.